from not the B, we are seeing Gen Z. We are seeing victory. I see a pattern here with this story. It is about a young Gen Z woman complaining she can't pay the bills. And I believe she is lying. But I believe that shows Trump is going to win. And I'll tell you why. There's a video that was posted by Wall Street Silver. I made a segment about it earlier where I talked about the general concepts around what a young woman could do if she can't afford to pay the rent, how society used to be, the fact that women never used to be single up until the 20th century. Like women did not live alone until the 20th century.
Well, so there were spinsters and stuff. But
in the 20th century.
Yeah.
Before
exactly.
that,
they'd live with
most
their families.
people did not live alone. Even men did not live alone. And so now we have these young people. So that was the general idea. Upon actually recording and talking about the economy's bad, food costs too much, she says she doesn't go on vacation. She doesn't have luxuries. She can't afford her rent. She's crying. And I'm like, here we go. Joe Biden's economy is killing these young people. And so then I looked up her profile, and what did I find? She likely lives in a 2-bedroom. She has like 8 cats, and she's married and recently went on vacation. Now that said something to me right away. Oh, grifter, right? A lot of people were like, so this young lady right here is grifting and just trying to get sympathy to get views so she can make money. And then I thought to myself, why would she think making a video saying it's so hard, prices are so high? Why would she think that's going to make money for her? And sure enough, it did. She's got millions of views on this post. I think it might be 4 million. Huh. I'll put it up in a second. It's either 1.5 or 4.3. I'll pull it up in a second. And then I realized something. Someone asked the other night, we were talking about Chris Cuomo and Patrick Bet-David. They hired him. And I said, look, when we start winning the culture war, the sycophants and sociopaths are going to start pretending they were always on our side. Mm-hmm. And they're going to try and make shows agreeing with us like Chris Cuomo is literally doing. He made a video where he's like, why did I sit down with Tucker? Because I believe in free speech. Oh, yeah. The guy who called for lockdowns, who lied about being in quarantine. No, what's going to happen is when they realize they're on the wrong side of history, they're going to run full speed and beg us to crawl into the doggy door. What we're seeing with this young woman, in my opinion, is a Gen Z person who's realized the popular narrative is Joe Biden has stabbed us all in the back. And if you want to get views, you better insult the economy and say everything's awful. She made another video where she's like, I'm undercover calling my apartment to figure out why prices are so high. And she says, how much does a 2-bedroom go for? And I'm like, wait.
Why do you want to know that one?
Why that one?
Right.
Yeah, right. So she's
you
crying.
mean you don't live in a studio apartment?
And then she has another video. She's like, here's all my cats. And she's filming like a bunch of cats. And I'm like, you're not broke. You're living in luxury. Someone else posted a screenshot of another segment, which I haven't confirmed. I haven't seen the segment, but she says, my husband and I are going on vacation. And I'm like, so she lied?
Yeah, it sounds
but
like a
it
lie.
worked.
Yeah.
As I've mentioned with people like Dylan Mulvaney, and no, we're not going to talk about that stupid music video. Dylan Mulvaney only does what Dylan does because the algorithm promotes it. So now, which is interesting, you have Gen Z people thinking, if I make a video complaining about the economy, I'm going to go viral and get a ton of followers. That says to me, the sociopaths are starting to move over, assuming that we are on the right side of history and the path of success lies in criticizing Joe Biden and supporting Donald Trump.
What do her other videos look like? Is it just random content? Does she get a lot of views on her other content as well? Or is she just like chasing views? Is she? Or does she
I think it would
4.3. It's 4.3 million.
Whatever gets attention, I'm going to post about.
So she did really well with that one.
Yep.
But then that's why she made the second one about calling.
Take a look at this. If you look at all of her content, what do you see? 39,000, 36,000, 72,000.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What is this one? Can someone please tell me where these jobs are? See, she has been like, okay, here's one like, where are these jobs? I don't see them. And it got 72,000 up from, some of her other content. My BFF came over, 33. When you see this type of guy, 45. My husband wanted an air fryer, 36.9. So she's a dual income household with a bunch of cats. And then she made, I know I'm not the only one like this right now. How are we supposed to do this? I don't understand. 4.3 million views. Mm-hmm. Young people have realized there is money to be made in pretending like you have been screwed over. And so the sociopaths are going to do it. This shows us one thing and will cause another thing. The first thing it shows is, as I've already stated, that these people are starting to, I don't think she's political at all. I think she just realized, oh boy, I'm going to go viral if I do this.
Yeah, she saw a lot of people were talking about it.
There's tons of stories.
This is why Biden wants to ban TikTok.
Potentially, now that it's turned against him. Israel is the real reason, mind you. But sociopaths and grifters are now trying to make money by saying, "Oh no, I've been so wrong. Look at all the cats. How many cats are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then
And it's not
hate
less
to see
than
your litter
10,000
boxes.
views. Oh my
7,000
gosh.
views. She has 8 cats.
One room of her apartment is just all litter boxes.
Here's what this does, though.
The most I ever had was 3 cats, and it felt like 1,000.
This is a cascade effect. More people are going to see 4.3 million views, and they're going to go, "This is how I get followers. This is how I go viral."
Yeah.
When Donald Trump was elected, I worked with this guy at Discovery.
Is that going to be people running to the right?
Yes.
Just for the short run? I mean, it's going to be whoever's in office, they'll make videos to cry about how bad things are. So it'll be against the incumbent. It can go both ways, right? But in the short run.
No, I don't think so. I don't think based on this we can predict how things will actually go in terms of will they turn on Trump, because it wasn't as political until Trump.
Right.
So maybe, who knows? I worked with a guy at Discovery, normal video producer. We produced some pretty big videos for Discovery. One of them was how powerful are nuclear weapons. It had over 1 million views in like a day. It was crazy. And one day he discovered that by replying to Donald Trump, he got followers. He destroyed his career and became a weirdo. He went from being a video producer at Discovery to this Trump reply guy who only ever said Trump sucks in the stupidest of ways. And he got 100,000 followers from it. He didn't care about Trump. He didn't know about Trump, but he was like, oh boy, I'm getting attention.
Is that like George Conway?
Perhaps.
It's like Dylan Mulvaney deciding to be trans. It's
Exactly.
really all about the attention.
Look at the original content that was produced by Mulvaney, and it's like Safari stuff. And then once Mulvaney realized, okay, let's talk about the music video. I don't want to say too much because I really think it's stupid. But
it's stupid.
the one thing I can say is Mulvaney put out a music video called Days of Girlhood. This is the point. Dylan Mulvaney has no personality, no character, no talent, nothing. The only thing Dylan Mulvaney has is, by being trans, the algorithm promotes you. So what does Dylan Mulvaney do? Let's just make more stuff being trans. That's all it is, because the algorithm promotes it. This is why I think TikTok is bad. However, I will say, Gen Z people trying to manipulate the system while living in the sheer utmost of luxury unless her husband is like a stay-at-home husband who's not working.
Well, somebody's got to take care of those cats.
That's
man.
true.
That's a lot of cats.
Right. But anyway, long story short, that's my point. I think this shows not only is Gen Z starting to side with Trump, but a lot of Gen Z thinks it's cool and it's going to get you followers to side with Trump. So they're going to chase that narrative whether they actually care or not.
Well, because that has become the counterculture. It's sort of interesting that a former president's political aspirations have become countercultural. Like, president is the epitome of mainstream political.
But he's maintained being an outsider. Like, it's the
Right.
most Trump thing of all time.
He maintained being an outsider while literally living in the White House and being in charge of the entire military.
For that, we have to thank the Democrats, I guess.
Take a look at this. Not that B highlights some responses. RFK Jr. says, "This is why I'm running for president. This experience is increasingly common and the strongest driving force behind voters' desperation for change. I will work tirelessly to earn your vote between now and November." I love it. Here you go, Dinesh D'Souza. "This is Joe Biden's America. If you don't want to live like this, vote accordingly in November. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. And the reality? She lives in likely a 2-bedroom with 8 cats and a husband and is complaining about a rent increase. I can still respect being upset about a rent increase of $500.
Sure, that's a lot.
But you have a dual income 2-bedroom with 8 cats. You are not by any means broke."
And now if my wife is watching this, her reply is going to be, "Corey, we need 7 more cats."
Just 7?
She's like, look, it's in our budget.
Look, I can see it. They fit here and here and here. We don't have enough.
Yep.
No, it's wild. I mean, I think it is worth noting the fact that, like,
that's
a way
a wrong one.
a way to
No,
get
I
famous
made the same mistake. I said,
Presumably, though.
when I saw the video, I said one thing she can do is find a good man. And if she doesn't want to work or she's stressed out by it, find an older guy who can easily pay the bills. Maybe this guy who's 40, who's making 6 figures, maybe 180K a year. He'll be like, "I'll take care of all the bills." Then it turns out she actually is married. So a lot of people then said she's grifting to pay her rent. It's like, there you go. Crocodile tears, pretending to be upset. Oh, woe is me. Why is everything so bad? But it's like, all that matters is this, the simple math. It is now a fact. If you make a video where you say, I am screwed over by this economy, you go viral.
Right, because it's a unifying issue for all these young people on the platform, right? A lot of them feel economic pressure. I mean, maybe she doesn't feel it as much as she's claiming to, but it's a regular conversation that I think a lot of people have. Rent's really expensive. I don't know how I'm going to buy a house. I'll do whatever. Like, all of these things. And whether or not she actually is living in that desperate of a situation or not, she is aware that it will pull from every angle of life. She's not just talking to women, she's also talking to men. She's also talking to older generations who are concerned about what their kids are going to do. Like, this is a topic that really drives everyone to your channel.
About it.
And it doesn't matter what her preferred solution is. It might be universal basic income.
Well,
it might be
she's not really offering a solution, right?
But it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter, right? Because people know Biden is in charge of the country right now. Things aren't going well. And so the responses are going to look like what we're seeing here.
Right, but she's not even offering a solution. She just gets to be
yeah.
like, this is bad. And that's the most non-political stance. Like, yes, it is bad.
Her job isn't to offer solutions. Her job is to cry on TikTok.
That's right.
And Trump will benefit from
That's
that either
literally
way.
her
And
job.
this is
If she agrees with him or not.
here's
Genius.
the final point I'll make on this.
Really
The most important point is, I don't expect her to actually vote for Trump. She doesn't actually care whether you or anyone else votes for Trump.
She might not even
But
be registered to vote.
She is fabricating a narrative, a viral narrative, that will, one, encourage people to vote for Trump, and two, encourage others to make more grifty videos where they say this economy is bad, which will create a cascade effect of a narrative emerges that Biden has screwed us all over, the economy is miserable, and for that reason, Trump is the only one that makes sense. Could be why Gen Z is now, according to, I think it was a Harvard Caps poll, Newsweek report on this, we covered it last week, Gen Z has the highest level of support for Trump out of any age group, which is odd considering many of these people were children when he was president.
Right. That is interesting.
But their parents were less stressed about the economy.
Yep.
And then they began on the
It's the mugshot.
Then they were on the brink of,
The
yeah,
mugshot
that's
was
true.
kind of cool.
And that he put out merch with his own mugshot like right away. I'm sorry, that's amazing.
Trump
They had it all planned.
He is an old man, but he is funny.
Yep.
He is
Could you
funny.
imagine having a grandpa that was like Trump? It'd be the best. You'd love Christmas. You'd be like, I can't wait to go to Thanksgiving because my grandpa always calls my liberal aunt like a dumb hooker or something. You know?
Oh,
He's
I
just a
love that. I
foul-mouthed-
want to go to that Thanksgiving. That one sounds fun.
Yeah,
And he's entertaining too, being in office. I mean, it's fun watching Biden call the Egyptian president the president of Mexico, but it's not nearly as fun as watching the media freak out every time that Trump would tweet anything.
Look, it's Thanksgiving, and you have two grandfathers. One grandfather is a foul-mouthed old coot who says shockingly offensive things with quick wit and pisses off many members of your family, but you laugh when he does it. Your other grandpa, he's senile. And when he makes these mistakes, it's sad. And we're
he
worried
mumbles.
about grandpa.
Yeah,
And he
he
mumbles a lot. And he's always touching the
moving
kids. We
too
don't like
good.
that.
Sniffing them.
Yeah, sniffing the kids. We're, grandpa, you got to. That's the kid. So, kid comes to Thanksgiving and he sees two grandpas. And, Grandpa Trump is sitting there and the cringy liberal aunt says something and then he insults her. Everyone laughs. And the kid laughs and the parent goes, don't you listen. That's a bad influence. And then, creepy Grandpa Joe comes over to the kid. And the guy's like, no, you stay away from creepy.
Well, creepy Grandpa Joe's always saying the future's over and bad things happened way back in, you know what I mean? Whereas Grandpa Trump is like having fun, hanging out. There's that video of Laura Trump posted a video of Trump going to Grandparents' Day with her daughter.
I was gonna say I love the grandpa videos
She looks so happy to see him. She's like
they're
showing him her
thrilled.
desk. She's adorable anyways, and he's like very much engaged with her. Like, it's cool to see.
They clearly hang out.
Yes, they do.
I was honored to go to the White House for the social media summit. And I thought it was going to be a serious sit down to address the problems of big tech manipulation and all that stuff. And Trump just did stand up for like an hour or whatever. And the whole crowd's just laughing. And I was like, this is wild. He's literally just doing stand up comedy. Mm-hmm. He's very self-aware. He was making tons of jokes and he had bits.
That's so great.
Yeah, it was just, I'm like,
He
wow.
is having fun. And I think we all would like that in a president. I'm not
Right.
going to lie.
You go to his rallies too. I think anybody who's been to a Trump rally knows that he's doing a kind of stand-up.
Well, and he's having a great time, and they love him.
Yeah. It's funny.
This video is another reason why we might not want to ban TikTok. And besides, how are we going to expose the rot that's happening in the government schools if they don't tell them
I
themselves?
thought we were bringing back Vine.
All right,
that's a good idea.
Well, I tweeted at Elon the other day. I said, bring back, hey, Elon Musk, bring back Vine. He said, in what form? And I said, as it was. Like, you'll have to obviously update it because it's been gone for a decade, but you resurrect it as it was, and then you start adding those features. But Vine was TikTok.
Yeah, I don't really understand the difference between the two. I've never been on TikTok.
7-second videos.
They're 7-second, but
Yeah.
wasn't TikTok shorter initially too?
All the Vine people went to TikTok.
Right, because
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
platform.
Snapchat, then TikTok.
Yeah.
And so,
I forgot about Snapchat.
Snapchat kind of fizzled
That's
out.
just for
Yeah.
teenagers to message each other and make it disappear, as well as predators.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no shade to Snapchat, which I'm sure is a lovely
one of the
business.
stupidest things they could have done, they didn't know how to monetize Vine. It was very expensive, so just get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy. They bought it and then destroyed it.
But it was sort
Was
of
it Facebook
before.
that bought Vine?
Twitter.
Twitter bought
That's
Vine.
why I said, Elon, bring it back. Because Twitter owns it. They bought it.
It
They
was
just
So it's
phased
part
it
of his
out.
IP.
It was sort of before influencer marketing became a thing, right? Because that's what I think about with TikTok, the fact that there are so many people like.
No. It certainly existed.
that
The Paul brothers got big on Vine.
I know they got big, but then I thought they sort of
it all
monetized off
existed.
YouTube. I don't really know.
I think the challenge is with a 7-second video, how do you do marketing other than you're eating a bag of Doritos as you do your bit or something?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But a ton of these guys who got big on Vine, people, remain big and transferred over to YouTube. Vine, 7-second videos, it was easy, but all they had to do was just update Vine to be slightly longer, and it's literally TikTok. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.